It's not every day you get asked to come and video a Sunseeker 75-foot boat inside this huge shed, but today we're on board this Mark II 75 yacht from 2005, and we're going to go through the boat, giving you a full tour and talking about a lot of the updates this boat's had whilst it's been here ashore. So keep watching, this is going to be a very cool video. Let's start today's video up here on the bow, and as you can see there is a huge amount of space. We've got the sunbathers in forward of the windscreen there, we've got this additional seat as well in front of that, and there's lots of deck space here. You can see we've got the stanchion running all the way down, good height, so it feels quite safe to be up here, and even though I'm probably 30 foot off the ground, I feel quite secure. Now, there is a little bit of wear on the teak, which is actually detailed in the description, so we'll point it out. But on the whole, like I said, this boat has had a huge amount of work done to it here up at Hive in Southampton. The work's been done by ex-Sunseeker employees, a lot of them. So actually, from that perspective, it's all been done to a very high standard as a factory effectively updates. What I want to do today is really just give you an idea of what the boat's all about, the amount of space on board, and how this boat offers a great value for money. We're also going to show you the outside of the boat, take you underneath the hull, which we normally can't do. So keep watching to the end of the video and we'll start looking at the hull as well. So we've seen a bit of the port side. Let's go up the starboard side. You can see up here, as well as the space, we've got good sized cleats. We've got a deck wash system just down here, and that's what that cover is. And then like I say, you've got all your seating groups. Going slightly further back now, you've got these hatches to lift up, and you can see in there is a bit of storage in there, great for lines. You get a small fender in there, but not a big one, but it's good nonetheless for ropes. You've got 3 sections of windscreen here on the bow, and you can see they've all got these pantograph windscreen wipers on. The boat has been fully machine polished to a very good standard while she's been here out the water. So I don't know if you can, there's a bit of dust on the boat, but you can see there's a really nice shine everywhere you look. You've got the starboard side door here. This goes straight back into the helm. If I just point the camera in, we're going to go in there in a minute, but it's a really nice feature to have. And this is such a great looking boat. I'm sure you'll agree from the drone images inside the shed here that it is a very, very cool looking boat. You can see here it's got this lovely window, which is all in good order. And then you can see, like I say, the shine on that gel coat. Engine intakes here, or air vents for the engine room. Just little things like you've got your fuel fillers tucked away in these little door pockets, so you've got a drain in there that goes straight overboard. Just a nice little touch that you're not going to get any diesel on the teak. You've got access gate on the starboard side. I'll check if we've got one on the port. I'm pretty sure we have, but it's quite nice. If you are alongside there, you can use that gate just to step straight onto the quay or the pontoon. Jumping down into the aft cockpit. Now the boat's in a shed, we're in a working environment. The teak hasn't been washed because we can't wash it inside, but it would clean up really nicely, certainly in here in the aft cockpit. Full med spec on board this boat, so we've got stern winches here, nice sized cleats, and obviously the fair leads there. We'll go and look on the transom in a minute, but let's just take a minute to have a look at this aft cockpit. So you can see you've got the large overhead lighting. There's a lot of space here. You've got a good sized table. You could also have a couple of director's chairs quite comfortably here. And then you've got a small port side wet bar, so you've got a cool plate in there, a bit more storage in there. And then you've got down here the main battery isolator switches and generator selector there as well, and passerelle control. Lots to look at on this boat. There's a lot of kit on board. But if I just again pan the camera back round, just show you what that aft cockpit's like. You can see the reflections from the port side and how the light's bouncing off the very polished gel. There's a full camera system on board. There's a camera up here on the port side, and there's also another camera here on each corner. So you've got a camera here and a camera on the starboard side. So over the years, there's a lot of equipment been updated and fitted. If I just take you back across the gangplank here. So we're at a facility here where Sunseeker actually used to outsource some of the build of their larger yachts. So that gives you an idea here. We've got a Tomahawk 37 down there. We've got a Portofino 32. It gives you an idea of scale, just how much room there is in this shed. Pan you back up now. You can see the KVH domes up there. and it's got an updated Raymarine HD radar. We'll look at the screens in a bit, and I spy another camera up there as well, and a Windex. So all sorts of equipment on board. We've got a crew cabin in here. I think we'll come back to that in a minute. I think we'll focus on the Flybridge first. So let's walk back through now. So this boat was actually built to an MCA standard. So if somebody wanted to run this boat commercially, although it's not been run commercially recently, then you could. It's possible to have that coding effectively put back in place. The Flybridge itself is vast. We've got this lovely seating group with a wraparound seating sections there, and then that teak table there in the middle. Lots of lovely angles on here. You know, this was a time where Sunseeker design was just absolutely spot on. You've got what looks like a updated cool heat plate there, another cool box in there as well, and a hot and cold tap. So it's all there. Teak Flybridge, and then you've got a teak crane as well. So up here you've got a crane. So if you wanted to lift a tender up here, a jet ski, then that crane will allow you to do that. There is going to be a safe working load on that somewhere. I'll try and find a sticker. If not, we can confirm that if you want to get in touch. But oh, in fact, there you go. So max kg 350. So that's a 350 kilo safe working load crane there on the Flybridge. Life raft storage up here as well, which is quite nice. And if I just walk back now, looking back over onto the bathing platform, gives you an idea again of the scale of this boat. There is a bimini top, so you can see the framework's actually in place there. The bimini top's been away to be cleaned, and it's been, I guess, reproofed as well, so that's ready to go back on. The upholstery out here has all been cleaned as well, been put out for us today to do the video, but it's all in good condition. It's not original, it's been updated, but it is in good condition. Let's go and look at the Flybridge helm, because that's always an area. Sorry, didn't mention the ice maker, also an ice maker. The Flybridge helm itself is often an area that gets forgotten about on these bigger boats, but turn that Raymarine screen on. But I have to say, it's in good condition. At some point, somebody has lifted these throttles up just to bring it closer to hand. I guess they'd be right down there if not. So you've got those there. You've got bow and stern thrusters down here. And then you've got updated Raymarine equipment here. You can see I mentioned the Windex, and you've got your autopilot down there as well. So you've got Raymarine Axiom plotter. You've got your 2 engine data screens there, and the dash has been updated here with a carbon fibre panels. Steering wheel's the original Sunseeker steering wheel. Again, if you wanted to update things like that, we can help you do that. I can see also down here an updated Fusion stereo system. If I just jump up here on the side, it's very high. I feel very, very high looking down onto that foredeck. And look at the light bouncing off that coach roof. Again, I'll just turn the camera around on the Flybridge to pan you back round that way. But it gives you that idea of size. Wow, this is such a cool facility. Wouldn't it be great if we could have something like this for every marina, every boatyard, these indoor facilities? Great way to keep a boat. So we need to now start talking about what's been done to the boat while she's been here. So they've gone right through her. They've done some work on, they've obviously put in fresh anti-foul on. She's had completely prop speed put on the props and rudders. We'll show you that in a bit. But they've also gone through all the hull fittings. So they've gone through all the through hull fittings. They've all been changed. So it's peace of mind on a boat like this that you know the vulnerable sections have been done. They've really looked at the safety of this boat. So anyone that's buying a boat of this calibre, of this size, then those types of things have been done. We'll go and look in the engine room in a minute, but I think it's about time we jumped inside and go and look at accommodation. So let's go. Right, let's get these doors open and get into the saloon space and go and have a look. Now you've got that triple folding door there, so you can let lots of air into this area, and it's really easy access. Now once you're in the saloon here, you've got these 2 opposing sofas. You've got one on the port and one on the starboard. Now these are nicely sort of angled to give you a sense of almost guiding you into the saloon. You've also got a really nice finish on here. You've got this nice leather, which I think is probably original, but it's certainly in very, very good condition. The carpets have definitely been updated at some point, and then you've got the twin coffee tables with definitely an updated television. That's not a 2005 television for sure. Underneath here, you've got some storage. She is cherry satin, which at the time this was built would have been certainly the most popular wood colour. Satin, and people moved away from the gloss finish and moved more towards satin. And actually, I have to say, it looks very elegant, very Sunseeker, and it's a nice place to be. I love all the fluting in these wooden sections for the air vents, for the aircon, and then you've got these Roman blinds. We spoke about those huge windows earlier on, but look out to that warehouse. Different view, not necessarily a view we'd always see, but it's different. So hopefully that's what you think about this video. Dining table here up on the starboard side. So that's dining for 8. So this is a 4 cabin boat. So you've got dining for 8 guests. You've got a galley which can be closed off if you want to. Drinks cabinet there. So with the galley, you can actually close off this space. I'll do it from the other side, but you can close off the galley if you wanted to. If you want to have it more as a crude boat rather than a private boat, then you can close off this section here, which I can't quite do one-handed. But believe you me, it's very hard to do a lot of these things one-handed. So that then folds into there. And then you can see, I've closed off the galley. I need some more lights now from somewhere. But that works quite nicely. Behind here, you've got the fridge. Again, I think this has probably been updated at some point in the boat's life. So you've got the fridge there, good size, and then a good size freezer underneath. The galley itself is well lit because you've got these windows, again, from the port side, letting that natural light in. You've got stone worktops in here. You see the dehumidifier wearing away. But there's a lot to talk about, really. There's a lot of space. You've actually even got a rubbish compactor tucked down here in the corner. You don't see that very often on a boat, but that's what that is. Melier combination oven, Melier hob, and then a slimline dishwasher in there as well. But everything you'd expect, really, from a boat of this size. And I have to say, even though the boat's being used, she is in good condition. Decent sized drawers there. You've got the wood galley floor there as well in the galley, which looks good. And then you're back out into the saloon. Let's talk about the helm, shall we? We've got the lower helm. We mentioned that upper helm with the updated screens. You've got exactly the same down here. In fact, you've got 2 of them. Slightly smaller, I believe, than the upstairs screen, but you have got 2 of those Raymarine Axiom screens. You've got your Windex coming through on this data screen, depth gauge there, and then you've got your autopilot on this side as well. Here you've got a remote control, wireless I should say, Raymarine DSC radio. That's quite nice. You can actually walk around the boat using that if you want to. Very original dash layout. You can see here we've got the twin engine controls, and then you dive down here to the bow and stern thrusters. You can see it's very Sunseeker down here. We've got like alarms down here, exhaust alarms, preheats, just runs through what anything's happening to the boat. You've also got a wired VHF here, so perhaps that's the handset you take to the Flybridge. I didn't check, but that might be why. Trim tab controls, and fairly good visibility forward. You can just spy Nathan. If you look over there, Nathan's up there, hopefully even editing the content he's just taken on the drone already. He's a good lad. Behind me is that starboard side door. Now what's nice about that door is that you can actually use it. A really easy door to access, and a usable door as well with the helm position slightly further forward there. Bezenzoni electric seat, so you can see there, you can actually lift this up by pushing that button. You can move the backrest. How very cool. Port side here, we've got a co-pilot area. I guess some of the boat's manuals there, and a nice lift up. So we've got some paper charts in here, some nav gear, general bits drawer, matches, that type of thing, some super glue. So yeah, a general bits cupboard. And actually as a co-pilot here, quite a nice position to sit. My arm's on the side there and just watch what's going on. Mullions, all in good condition. Often this is an area on a boat like this where you do see water ingress damage, but you can see here it's all in very good condition, all very original. No signs of any water ingress there at all. Same on the starboard side in front of the helm. I don't know what that reading light was for, but it has got a reading light. You've got these red lights here over the helm for nighttime operation, but a very smart setup indeed. Now down here, we're going to go down into the main cabin space. So I think, should we start with the forward cabin? This forward cabin is what we would call the forward VIP. So in here, the cherry continues, cherry satin continues. Now in here, you will see you've got a SAT controller. So that would work back to the KVH system. You've got some storage in here. So you can see if I just open this, some nicely shelved storage with fiddles on the edge as well. And then look at the side linings. For this age of boat, that is in very, very good condition. No huge hull windows. You've got this sort of original Sunseeker portholes here, which, like I say, are all in good condition. And that cherry working around there at the head of the bed is also in very good condition. Original televisions in here. We could look at updating that for you, but there is original televisions. Now this boat, I mentioned earlier on, has aircon. It's the tropical aircon spec the boat has. So you can see an air controller down there. That was not on because we're out of water. You've got a walk-in wardrobe. Can I get the light on in there? Bit of storage as well for the master cabin. Sorry, forward VIP with a mirror in there. So nice space if I just turn it around. It's a big wardrobe for this size of boat. And then behind me here, on the starboard side, the light's not going to be on in here, is it? So I'm going to have to find the light switch. He says, there it is. So forward VIP ensuite, good size shower, vacuum flush, toilets there, and then storage cupboards above there, and a surface mounted sink, which is quite cool actually. Look at the finish on that. I like that. Wood flooring, again, all looks very good condition. You know, the boats, you can tell it's been well looked after. They fill things like the handles often get pitted, marked, all in nice condition. So moving further aft now, to give you some perception of where we've gone down the stairs, that's the forward VIP. I'm now going slightly further aft, and in here we have a day heads. Sorry, I've not done a very good job here, turn the lights on. So here we've got the day heads. This doubles as an ensuite to the cabin here, but this is the day heads. So in here, again, you've got a walk-in shower arrangement. You've got another one of these very cool glass effect sinks, storage in here. It's really, really nice condition. So if I just bring you back round now into this port side twin, so you've got slightly higher berth on this side. Now you'll see why in a minute, but again, looking at the woodwork in here, you've got your reading lights there, not turned on probably, but all your panelling in here is nice, smells fresh, original TV there as well, and you've got air controllers, but walk-in wardrobe. You can, oh, look at that, you can actually see, that's how new that Axiom kit is, it's all been updated fairly recently. There's the boxes. So moving now, we're on the starboard side of the boat, we're onto a starboard double. So it's a double push to one side, but again in here, there is a bit of a party trick. So if I just move that chute bolt down like that, I actually make a mini berth. So perfect for families. You can imagine if you've got children in here, you could have 1 or 2 children here, and then the smallest one up here, and I'm sure they would absolutely love using that pull down bunk. Lots of storage here on those boxes at the top, a bit more storage over there. Again, he says, dodgy catch, there you go. Hanging wardrobe space in there. And this is also an ensuite cabin. So if I just open this, I'm doing very well at not having these lights on, aren't I? If I turn the light on again, you'll see very similar style to the other ensuites and heads, but in very, very nice condition indeed. Another one of those sinks. Yeah, very nice. And the veneer down here there is a little bit of lightening up in the saloon, main saloon, but down here it's as new. More storage here. There's so much to show you on this boat. So you've got a washing machine here, Amelia washing machine, and then you've got more storage. I won't bore you with every single cupboard. And then underneath here, the reason that bunks are slightly higher is we have an independent tumble dryer. So we've actually got a dryer there as well as a washing machine. So this, you can imagine, you could spend a really significant amount of time on board this boat quite comfortably. Master cabin. I've kept the door shut just to give you a sense of what she's like. Now you can imagine walking into this cabin, look at it, central bed, really, really good head height in here. You can see the owner's looking after her, even though she's ashore. We've got heaters running, we've got dehumidifiers running, just keeping the condition of the boat really nice. A vanity table there on the starboard side, mirrored, very nice. And then you've got those starboard side windows, letting lots of natural light in. Same on the port side. But if I just stand in one corner here, just pan the camera around, it just shows you how much room is in the space. You've got another updated television here, same as in the saloon. And on the port side, you've got another stool, another vanity area. It's not mirrored, that one, but you've got the original Sunseeker stool there. I like the little lamp. But look at the way that veneer is. If you look at just, there's no damage at all on those surfaces where you'd perhaps expect it on a boat of this size. Now, master cabin ensuite, good size, really nice size. So you've got another dehumidifier running in here. Got that surface mounted sink again. Decent sized shower, and then the loo actually mounted out on the outside there with the stone carried on underneath the loo itself, which is a nice touch. Pan you back round into the master cabin. Lots of lighting in here. Now it's not LED, it's halogen, but might have been changed to LED to be fair, but there's certainly lots of lighting in here. On this side, starboard side, losing where we are now, we've got this huge walk-in wardrobe. So you can see you've got the shelving there, a couple of monkeys hiding up there. And then you've got some drawers as well. I mean, there's just so much storage. You know, this size of boat, there really is. And that's probably a criticism on some of the more modern boats, is that there isn't enough storage. But on here, I would say there's ample. More drawers on this side, and then even more covered space there. So smart. Like I say, the boat smells fresh. The carpet's been recently updated. So let's go up here now, back up to the saloon, give you a different aspect on where we were earlier on. If you remember, you've got the helm, you've got that 8-seater dining table, the galley there, with the potential to close it off. But I wanted to show you the crew cab. I mentioned it earlier on. So that's now ventured down towards the crew cabin, and that's where I can show you the engine room space. So I think you'll like that. Keep watching for a minute, I'll get down there. Before we step off the boat and go and show you the underwater gear, let's go down and look at that crew cabin we discussed earlier on. So you've got, the boat's called Tatiana. You can see the lighting there on the back. She's registered in Guernsey. You've got some storage here on the stern as well. If I just open these lockers, you can see that's pretty deep there. Practical. Can't quite reach that one whilst holding the camera, but there's more storage up there as well. You've got shore power access here. She has got a Glendinning. So that's quite nice. So if you don't know what a Glendinning is, then a Glendinning allows you to actually control the entry of your shore power cable. It's not on, but effectively it's a motor that winds the cable in and out. Really nice thing to have and makes other things a lot easier. You've got another washdown point here. We mentioned the washdown on the bow. You can see the HIN number here, so she's a 505, so an 05 build and an 05 model. Some nice chunky cleats here as well on the stern, and I keep saying it, but look at that reflection again. We mentioned it earlier. Hydraulic platform, so you can see we've got some areas here for chocks. I'm unaware of what tender used to be on the boat, but we could help to reprofile the chocks for any tender that you might have. Let's go down and have a look in the business end, shall we? So into the crew cab in a minute, but we'll go straight into the engine rooms. Now, these are MAN 1550s. So I mentioned earlier on, the boat's had a lot of work done to it while she's been ashore, and one of the areas that work's been carried out is in the engine room. So there's been a full detailed clean in here. They've repainted the engines where they've needed it with the MAN white, and you can see they look in really nice condition. So these are V12 engines. You can see there the 6 cylinders either side. You've got these cages above the engines, so really useful for storing kit. So we've got some deionized water, some filters, that type of thing. But this is a big engine room space. See the port engine there, like the starboard engine, looking in very good condition. Hot water tank mounted up here on the ceiling in the engine room. Another area I just want to point out is all of these ball valves on the raw water strainers have been updated and serviced where needed. And this boat's actually got 2 generators. So you've got twin generators on board this boat, one port, one starboard. You can see there, and then they've got those trays on top to allow you to put things on if you need to. And then you've got, obviously, fire system here. You've got the aircon handlers. Quite nice having the aircon handlers in the engine room, reducing any noise disruption inside the boat. There's so much to show you in here. I can't show you everything, but hopefully a quick overview of the engine room. Like I say, MAN 1550s. Just been looked after, updated, cleaned. You see there, it's like the filters have actually got a cover on just while she's in storage. Twin generator setup. There is another access into the engine room, so you can access the engine room from the aft cockpit where we were earlier, down this ladder if you're at sea, rather than having to open the stern door. Got a hydraulic pump, filters, all sorts in there. So yeah, lots and lots and lots to talk about. Going back into the crew cabin, let's just try and get some lights on. They've taken the mattresses out of here for now. Been a UK boat for the last few years, so she's not actually been really used as a crewed boat. But down here you've got the option for a couple of single mattresses. You've got a bit of hanging wardrobe space. There's another Ray Marine plotter down here. That does work, there you go. So you've got a Ray Marine, another screen, so nice to have the crew being able to see that down here as a bit of a backup. And then of course they've got their own WC in there as well, which is a shower. So 2-berth crew, plenty of space, teak's tear treads coming out, but a nice place to be if you're crew of this lovely bit of kit. I like things like the mag lights just stood there in the brackets. Nice little feature. Turn that light on there. So I think what we'll do now is we've had a good look at the outside of the boat, we've had a good look at the cabins, we've had a look at the crew cabin. Let's jump down on the floor, and we'll go and look at the underwater gear, which it looks really smart, so keep watching. Well, here she is. I've jumped down from the boat up here and I'm now down on floor level, and you can see she's on this trolley system, but it gives me superb access to get underneath. Now, people often wonder what's going on under the water. Now, this is what's pushing this boat along. Now, look at the circumference of that shaft. That is a chunky shaft. Now, like we said earlier, it's 1550 MAN V12s. This boat had a recent application ready to go of prop speed on the props. Now, I can't describe what this feels like. It's semi-tacky, it's dry, but it's designed really to stop marine growth. Now, this product is expensive, but it's very, very good. And you can see here both the starboard and, of course, the port props have all been done. They're 5-bladed props. Look at the size of those and the P-brackets, and then you can see the rudders as well there. Now, the cutlass bearings and the rudder stocks have all been checked for play, and they're all good, so she's literally ready to go. Now, your cutlass bearings are tucked in here, and that's what stops the shaft moving around in the P bracket. Now, that's called a P bracket because it looks like a P, if you imagine. The cutlass bearings have been checked, so they're all good. The boat has been anti-fouled, so I'm going to give you a quick walk around without tripping over all this gear on the floor. The boat's been anti-fouled, so you can see here she's got a fresh coat of anti-foul on, and all of those through-hull fittings have all been changed. And that's a really, really important thing to mention. It's often a thing that comes up in marine surveys. There is a bit of noise here, so you just have to excuse that. There's other people working in the shed, but just look how cool. Now, okay, this is a GoPro lens. It's not the best lens for videoing this type of thing. It's quite wide, but I can assure you this boat looks absolutely awesome. Just take you up towards the bow thruster now. You can see that's what the bow thruster looks like. A bit more cleaning's doing there, but that's the bow thruster. And then the actual condition of the hull. I spoke about the polishing earlier on, and it's the whole boat, top to bottom, all been polished. And if I just bring you underneath that, look at the shine on that. Bear in mind it's white, it's not black, obviously, it's white. But you can see the shine's really, really nice. Certainly been a good job. There's not many people that have done a video, I'm sure, on a 75 yacht Sunseeker inside a shed. So hopefully this has been quite interesting. It's been great to show you the underwater profile of the boat as well. I appreciate there's a lot to talk about on this boat, and hopefully you've stayed with me and you've watched the whole thing. But if you haven't and you need more information, please do let me know. The details are below for the full listing on the boat on our websites. And equally, if you'd like to know more about the boat or indeed come and see the boat, please do get in contact. Our number and details have been on the screen. Thank you for watching. As always, do subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and we see you again soon.